At checkout, a friendly button appears. Split your payment into 4 small parts. No interest, no credit check, easy. Most people click without thinking. The purchase feels lighter. The total cost seems smaller. The reality is that buy now, pay later is a powerful new form of borrowing, one that quietly changes spending habits across millions of households. Understanding how it really works helps you decide when, if ever, to use it wisely. At its core, buy now, pay later, often shortened to BNPL, is a short-term financing option offered at checkout. Instead of paying the full price now, you split the purchase into several smaller payments, usually over a few weeks or months. The provider pays the merchant the full amount immediately. You repay the provider in installments. Many programs advertise no interest if paid on time, which makes them feel like a free upgrade. This matters because the lightness of the payment changes behavior. A pair of shoes priced at $120 looks more manageable as 4 payments of $30. The brain quietly anchors to the smaller number. People buy more often, choose pricier options, and add extra items they would not buy with a single full payment. The mathematics did not change. The psychology did, and that subtle shift is exactly the point of BNPL. To understand how it really works, picture 3 actors. You as the buyer, the merchant who sells the item, and the BNPL provider who sits between you. The provider pays the merchant a slightly reduced amount in exchange for delivering you quickly. You agree to repay the provider in scheduled installments. If everything goes smoothly, there are often no fees or interest. If anything goes wrong, fees, interest, or other consequences may appear. Let us look at a simple example. Imagine buying an item for $200 using a 4-payment plan. You pay $50 at checkout, then $50 more every 2 weeks for 3 more payments. If you make every payment on time, the total cost is exactly $200. If you miss a payment, late fees may apply. Some plans may also charge interest, depending on the provider and the structure of the agreement. A common mistake is using BNPL for items that do not fit the rest of your budget. The split makes the price feel painless, so people buy items they would not have bought otherwise. Over time, multiple BNPL plans may run at the same time. Each looks small. Together, they create a hidden monthly obligation that interferes with savings, debt repayment, or essential expenses. The convenience hides the actual cost on your real life. There is also a hidden risk in how BNPL interacts with your other money. Some plans automatically charge a card on each due date. If your account is short on funds, the result can be overdraft fees, declined transactions, or extra charges. A late or missed payment can also damage your credit in some cases, depending on the provider. The friendly checkout button does not always reveal these possibilities clearly. A useful way to picture BNPL is as borrowing from your future paychecks. Each split payment is a small piece of next month's income that you have already committed today. Multiply that across several plans, and a meaningful chunk of your future cash flow may already be promised before the month begins. The freedom of buying now is balanced by the quiet shrinking of your future financial flexibility. A second key idea is that BNPL does not always replace credit cards. Sometimes it sits alongside them. People with credit card balances may also juggle BNPL plans. This can quietly create a layered debt structure that is harder to track. Each tool feels separate. Together, they form one continuous obligation. Awareness of all layered borrowing, not just the visible ones, is essential for honest financial decisions in the modern world. A practical example helps. Imagine someone with a moderate income who uses BNPL 3 or 4 times a month for small lifestyle purchases. Individually, each plan looks gentle. Combined, they may consume hundreds of dollars of monthly cash flow. The same person may struggle to save or invest, not because of any single big expense, but because many small split payments quietly absorb the money that would otherwise have built long-term wealth. Beginners often misunderstand the difference between BNPL and a simple budget. BNPL feels like a free way to afford something. A budget feels like a slow process of saving. But in many cases, waiting 1 or 2 months and paying in full produces the same final purchase with less risk and less psychological dependence on credit. The slower path is often the cheaper, calmer, and quietly more empowering one. There is also a psychology angle. BNPL is designed to feel rewarding. The clean buttons, the small numbers, the absence of obvious cost all reduce the friction between desire and purchase. That is exactly when calm thought matters most. Pausing before clicking, sleeping on the decision, or removing your card from the saved options can quietly reduce impulse spending more than any willpower-based effort ever will. A simple practical rule helps you use BNPL safely, if at all. Ask whether you would still buy the item if you had to pay in full today. Ask whether the total amount fits your current budget without straining other goals. Limit yourself to one active BNPL plan at a time. Avoid using BNPL for everyday consumption. And read the fine print of any plan you sign before agreeing to it. There are things to avoid. Do not run multiple BNPL plans at the same time. Do not assume BNPL has no credit consequences. Do not link BNPL to a card or account with low balances. Do not use BNPL to buy items that decline in value quickly. Do not chase promotional plans as if they were savings. And do not let the small friendly buttons replace your normal habit of careful decision-making. A better habit is to think of BNPL as another form of borrowing, not as a clever feature. If you would not be comfortable using a credit card to buy the item, you probably should not use BNPL either. The smooth interface does not change the underlying structure. Treating BNPL with the same seriousness as any other loan keeps your decisions sharp and your finances calm in a world full of friction-free spending tools. Over the long term, careful use of BNPL or full avoidance often produces calmer financial outcomes than heavy reliance on it. Households that use it sparingly or not at all tend to save more, invest more, and feel less pressure each month. None of this means BNPL is inherently bad. It is a tool. Like any tool, its impact depends entirely on how often, how carefully, and how thoughtfully it is used over time. So here is the short version. Buy now, pay later splits purchases into smaller installments, often interest-free if paid on time. It changes spending psychology by making prices feel smaller. Multiple plans can quietly stack into significant obligations. Late payments may trigger fees or credit effects. The friendly checkout button is still a form of borrowing. Used carefully, occasionally, it can fit. Used casually, frequently, it can quietly damage long-term finances. If BNPL is part of your shopping habit, take a calm look at every active plan. Add up the upcoming installments. Compare them to your savings and other commitments. Decide whether each plan truly fits the life you want. Adjust where needed. The goal is not to fear modern checkout tools. It is to keep them as your servant, not your master. Used wisely, they can fit. Used carelessly, they can quietly take control.